Hello everyone, welcome back to the Campden interactive series. In today's episode, we will discuss how successful business families have maintained a balance between family and business. In order to have a continuity of both, it's critical for principals and next gens to recognize that running a business requires different practices than running a family. In today's episode, we have Dhruv Rajani, Managing Director, Imperial Northstar, sharing how he runs his family business. Dhruv is based out of Goa and is the third gen member of the Damodar Mangalji family and also manages their single family office. Welcome, Dhruv, and happy to have you on board today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very pleased to be here and be part of this series.
So, Dhruv, if you can briefly tell about your family business and what you do, and also the structure of your family business and how many generations it has.
So the family business goes by the name of Damodar Mangalji Company Limited, popularly known as the DMC Group. Basically, it was started by my great grandfather along with his uncle in Africa in 1990. Hence the name Damodar Mangalji. My uncle's name was Mangalji. And they started off in Africa trading a lot of commodities like tea, copra, cashew nuts, textiles, apparels. And it was one of the big trading houses there. Goa being the only sea route to India in those days, he arrived at Goa in 1943 en route to get his daughter married, and having brought with him tea of high quality, which was not easily available in Goa. He made a huge profit, and he decided to stay here and be part of Goa because he made that profit, and also he liked the people here. So in the interim, when he was here, he came across iron ore and decided to do iron ore mining. He had the opportunity which was given to him over here, and he started doing iron ore mining in Goa. In 1948, approximately, would be the first time he did his first export from the state of Goa. And ever since that, the group has been actively involved in trading iron ore and mining iron ore. Also, they have diversified into various other businesses such as gas distribution, real estate and rubber plantations, and also a lot of other agencies within Goa. And as for me, I basically I'm the fourth generation over here, and who is a shareholder in the company. I don't have a official role in the parent company, which is Damodar Mangalji Company Limited. That's being managed by the second generation along with the third generation. The fourth generation is not a part of the company as yet, but we are given all the opportunities to attend all the meetings whichever take place in the company and take active participation. Except attending board meetings, we attend all the meetings of various other smaller meetings which take place. Except the board, we don't attend board meetings at the current juncture. So that, in short, is the way brief about my company in Goa.
Thanks, Dhruv, and it is commendable that your forefathers and ancestors, the way they came from Africa and then made good use of the port at Goa and got into multiple businesses utilizing the resources here. So you said you are the fourth generation. So how many members are there currently in your family who are yet active? How's the structure?
So as I told you, the business was established by my great grandfather after his and his uncle. After his demise, my uncle and my great-grandfather, they separated way back in 1956, where he sold a part of his holdings, like 12 mining concessions to Fiat Company, Ilva, basically. And from there onwards, he got the Goa assets along with the assets in Portugal. We had some assets in mining assets also in Portugal, which he took over. The Africa business went to his uncle back then in 1956. So post that, the scenario has been that on his branch of the family is my grandfather, along with his brother, who are part of the business. And my grandfather at this current juncture has retired from the business, but his brother continues to stay in the business along with the third generation. That is, my grandfather had two sons, so they are part of the business, and along with their cousin brother, where my grandfather's brother had only one son. So there are three people from the second generation, from the third generation, sorry, and one person from the second generation. Also, we have two independent directors who are part of the board. And so we have a formal board structure which operates, and the fourth generation, as I told you, is not officially involved in the business as yet. So that's in our structure.
Right. So you and your father, and it is three uncles.
Yeah, so my father, along with his brother and his cousin brother, and my father's uncle are the family members in the business. Yes.
So, yeah, so it's like four people from the older side.
Four people. Yeah, you could say that is the second and the third generation of work. Yes.
And in terms of your operating businesses, you have the mining business, which of course now is I'm not sure whether it continues or it had stopped in between.
So the mining business at the current juncture, because of government laws and procedures and restructuring of the part from the government, at the moment it's not functioning. But we have our trading division along with our jetty port operations, which do take place. So we recently also took part in a few auction of iron ore, where we are actively looking to trade iron ore also, and also a portion of it is there also in real estate. So we have been actively looking at that, and the family office as well. So that's the position.
So what I understand is you have the trading business, which is your main has been there for as a legacy business and continues to bring the profits. Then you have the jetty operations.
Yeah, so we have the jetty operations which is a part of the logistics and trading operations. So
and then you go into real estate.
Yeah.
And then of course you have the family office. So has there been a segregation of the operating business versus the personal wealth? How is the structure of the shareholding? Is it being divided equally amongst all members? Is there a clear understanding who gets what? How is that within your family?
So segregation of wealth has definitely happened and taken place within our family. In terms of that, the group has a very formalized structure with independent directors and advising in all business routine activities. So what happens is that in 2004, the second generation along with the third generation decided that they would start declaring dividends, and a portion of that then could be utilized by the fourth generation, or even within the third generation, whoever wanted to pursue their own businesses or dreams or whichever aspect of field they wanted to take, they could do whatever they want with the wealth. So a conscious decision was made way back in 2004, and ever since then every year we have been annually declaring dividends, and it could be utilized in whichever way each one wants from there onwards. So that is something which has helped a lot of us in growing and doing whatever we wanted to pursue.
You said in 2004, when you sort of set up the procedure that everybody gets a portion of the wealth through the dividends.
Yes.
How was the discussion at that time? Who initiated it? That every member should be a sort of part owner and have a clear understanding that he owns certain part of the business. So how did that discussion happen, and was there any problem?
So in 2000, in 2004, we got few consultants on board also who were there who decided, who helped in helping the board to decide what needs to be done. And then it was very collectively decided by everyone that let's do this. And in the way, some portion of reserves were kept within the family business for safeguarding it. And then the rest portion was then divided, according to the shareholding ratio, and the shareholding ratio remains equal between the two families. And then within the families, there are subgroups, obviously, and each one is allowed to divide the wealth according to whatever they want within the subgroups of each family. And I think it was done basically at that moment of time to maintain, wealth was distributed equally. And the most important thing was it helped in maintaining harmony and good family relations among each one. At the same time, it gave each and everyone the freedom to grow and do whatever business they wanted. So some members within the third generation also started their own business, and and have different mining leases and operations even abroad, which they have over the years set up. So in all, it worked very beautifully.
When you said that the shareholding is equally divided between the two families, that is your father and brother's one side and your father's uncle's family.
Yeah, so when I say equally divided between two families, is between my grandfather and his brother. So even here we are equally segregated and distributed. So we were within subgroups also, like the wealth has been equally divided.
And the wealth got equally divided irrespective of who was doing what. It was understood that everybody will have an equal share, or as per what you explained. Okay.
Yes, as I said, it was very important to maintain good family relations.
Correct.
To maintain that harmony. So it at that juncture to do this. So I think it has helped us a lot.
No, because what happens is in many families, there's a bit of conflict and dispute that because you're not part of the operating business, you will get less.
Yes.
And the other person will get more. But I always believe that if we're all in together, whoever does what, everybody should have an equal share, between the.
Absolutely. Very important, because otherwise it creates unnecessary disputes and feeling of animosity amongst family members, which definitely we need to avoid. For the business to move on from one generation to the other, it's best to divide things equally.
And within your family, now that you have the personal wealth creating in each person's individual hands, because the dividend flows there, you have now created a family office which has been there for some time.
Yes, so way back in 2014, I took the conscious decision of setting up our family. I mean, within the subgroup, like for my dad and from my dad's side of the family, we set up our own family office in 2014 and started managing our assets and our wealth therein from there onwards. And each other family members, they did their own thing. Some ventured into businesses, some also set up their family investment offices. So each one did their own thing from there on. That's been the way it has been for a while now.
So your father is in the operating business, and you and your brother are involved in the family office mostly?
Yeah, so we set up a family office, plus what we did was we set up our own business also, which is in real estate. And my brother is also looking at a few other projects, setting up something new projects in the ferroalloy space. So we are deeply involved in our own things at the moment, besides our family business.
How do you manage the family relations within your family, or how does your father manage? Because ultimately the operating business is the one, and there could be conflicts in decision making, and you know whether to declare less dividend, more dividend. How are the things handled there, and do you have any issues during that discussions?
Like as the family grows and becomes bigger, there are bound to be difference of opinion and issues which do take place and do happen. But what happens is, in our case, we follow a very democratic process where each one is given the rights according to their shareholding structures to vote, and based on the votes which come, decisions are taken in majority always as such. Also, at times, we make use of external advisors who help us in bettering our decisions and also give us certain inputs. It helps sometimes because sometimes the second generation, or sometimes some people on the third generation also are more comfortable with some external advisors who advise them, and in short, then come to a proper decision making process takes place. New decision making process takes place. Also, what happens is, at times, there might be certain delays, but in our case, it has helped us a lot when delays do happen. And there are very rare occurrences at times when things are not decided upon. So everything is always decided and recorded by the board, and everything follows a very democratic process of voting. For me personally, I do not get myself involved too much in or interfere in the board decisions as such. Only when time to time, when I've been called upon to by my father or by the board also, I do step in and help in whichever way I can. So it does consume a lot of time, but so I manage the family office along, at times in an unofficial way, manage the family business as well.
And is there a person from the family, from your father or uncles, who's been designated as the de facto CEO? How does the top position run?
So
Or is
there
it
is,
personalized?
okay. So there's a board, and then we have an independent CEO, and there are independent directors also. So we have someone who's doing the operations, and the board gives its inputs, and then we have the CEO and the operations team managing the business as such. So we have segregated that aspect of operations and decision making.
Okay, so that's great, because having multiple family members being part of this same business, there could be problems and conflicts and animosity and all. But you have a independent outside CEO with the independent directors, and of course everybody is on the board, and so it's a board driven company. So that's means there is a clear understanding, and it helps the business grow also. Has there been discussion within the family that you have made a conscious decision that we would like to continue with the professional CEO, and even in future the fourth gen will not want to get involved and become at the top position? Has there any been touched upon those points?
So at the current juncture, we are yet to touch upon those points, but I think it will remain to be seen. We'll have to see how the third generation takes that decision. That is, three family members have to decide how they want to take things forward, and also involve the fourth generation in that. So that process should start in the future, I would say. So it has not yet been very formally looked at, but we have had few discussions about it. So I'm waiting to see how it shapes up, but nothing formally put across or formally decided upon.
On the last leg, I would like to ask you, what are your learnings from your forefathers and grandfathers and the patriarch of the family about managing the family business and the conflicts, and what advice you would like to give to next gen leaders like yours, where it'll help them, manage the family harmoniously.
So, coming to the first part of your question, like in terms of what learnings I've learned from my patriarchs, I think there's been a lot to learn over the years from, when you're in a business family, day to day, you only listen and you learn about business at a very young age. And at a very young age, the teachings that have been given to us by my grandfather, my father, about business. And in the sense, basically, first thing I would say is how to basically we do business in an ethical manner and be very transparent in your dealings. Only then you will be able to survive, for a very long term in business. We also have learned a lot because when we did business with Japan, we learned a lot from their culture in terms of culture of discipline, how to maintain extreme good quality of your product and how to not let your quality falter. Also, something which is very important to learn from them is how to value time and be time bound by things. That has been again ingrained into our system as such. Even in our day-to-day life, we have ingrained it. So all of us have learned a lot in doing business with that country. Also, my father has taught us to maintain a consistent life and enjoy life. The key is to maintain balance per se. So, as for the advice which I would like to give, the next gen would be, hold on to your patience. I would say it's very important to be very patient in dealing with a lot of elder members of your family. Also, things have to be very clearly communicated to them in sense, to avoid any misunderstandings or, even the simple thing as writing an email should be like worded in a very easy and a simple manner. So things are like not misinterpreted or misread in any which way. Also, teamwork is very important. We always take everyone together with you. You cannot change an organization overnight because it has taken generations to build a business. So at the max, you can tweak it sometimes and bring in and modernize things and bring in new ideas, but which can be adopted by other people also who are there, because always important to take everyone with you, together. That is something which I would say is very important, and never get rejected if things don't happen your way. It's okay. I mean, you keep learning from things. Every day is a learning, so don't ever feel rejected and be very positive to take things in the right direction always. So that's what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, Dhruv, for sharing your thoughts and views so candidly. I think what I have learned and what I have also seen within my family, and I've seen now your family is I think dividing the shareholding very early in the days is something which avoids a lot of conflicts. Everybody knows he is a equal shareholder and he knows what it is, his personal wealth. It gives him a comfort and he can concentrate on many other things. So that is one very key aspect, where you create personal wealth by, in your case, dividending out, or in case you have an IPO and the shares are sold, and or you sell your company, and you have done it way back in 2004 itself, where everybody knew what he had in terms of his kitty. And second is where you've also done a very important thing is professionalize the CEO. So there's no conflict. You have a independent CEO and an independent board, plus family members are on the board, and everybody has their vote, as you said, when it comes to decisions of the board. And lastly, the fourth gen is there, sort of free in terms of mentally to do what they need and develop their own career. And each part of the family is building their own family office, which is very good, where you can invest into outside the business. So I'm sure the audience has a lot to learn from your perspectives. And once again, the Campden community thanks you for your time and knowledge contribution. Stay tuned with us for more such candid conversations at the Campden Interactive Series. See you next time. Till then, be safe, take care. Thank you once again, Dhruv. And thank you for being a valued Campden member.
Thank you.